Hello and welcome back to another episode of Discourse Debrief.
Woohoo!
I'm Maggie.
I'm Abby.
I'm Logan.
And today we have a guest joining us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey y'all, my name is Hunter Gibbs. I have been on the Regents Cup team this is my fourth year, which is so crazy to say, but I'm also an environmental science major and aspiring environmental attorney and excited to talk about my experience here with y'all.
Woohoo!
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
I keep saying woohoo. I need to stop.
Yeah. So we're talking about the environment today as we have an event coming up the 23rd.
The 22nd.
22nd.
On Earth Day.
On Earth
it's
Day.
Wednesday. I think it'll be on the mall. And we're still kind of figuring out the time. I think we agreed on 6:30, but
Something like that, yeah.
yeah, maybe a little earlier or later.
Yep. And it'll be on the environment. Hunter will be participating in said debate along with Henry, AJ, Andy,
And I think possibly Aylin.
Aylin,
and
then
Jackson.
Yep.
Oh, Jackson. Okay, cool.
So yeah, we'll have six people debating
Six
up
or
there.
seven.
Yeah, I know. So that'll be interesting.
Sorry.
So I guess how do we want to start this off? Just kind of give our rundown. What is our background of knowledge with the environment, or kind of perspective? I guess I'll start and say like none. I don't know anything about the environment outside of it rains sometimes.
Yeah,
It's been getting warmer over the past decades.
This
and,
may be
yeah.
why Logan and I are sitting this event out.
Yeah.
We just don't really know much about it. I'm the same way. I know to recycle, to never throw your batteries in the trash, to always take them to a battery recycling facility. Don't put anything in the ocean that shouldn't be there.
It's a great start.
I also know Taylor
And-
Swift is more damaging to the environment than any of us.
That too.
Correct.
This is
And global warming is terrible. And fossil fuels and carbon emissions are tearing holes in our ozone layer.
Cow
So
farts.
Cow farts.
I apologize for my hairspray.
Cow farts. I don't really have that. Well, I've taken, for public health, we have to take a lot of environmental impacts
Nice.
of like on health. So I know kind of that side, but not that much. And my town was pretty crazy about the environment. So we had mandatory
I'm sure they would.
composting.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Oh, I had a compost ball in my backyard in Chicago.
ball?
Yeah, it's this big ball, and you throw all your food that you didn't, your scraps and stuff in there, and then you roll it around your yard, and it composts it.
And I do try to. I know that no one person is responsible for the environmental situation.
Correct.
But
Bezos.
I do try to. Well, I'm saying us, like
Us normal
us
folk.
poors.
Correct.
Us non-1%ers.
But what was I did try to live a low waste life, and it was hard.
It is.
But I do only use mason jars for my groceries.
Wow.
I like to go in the little rice dispenser.
I use a reusable grocery bag.
Yeah.
No more plastic bags for me.
I'm awful, so.
Oh.
Whoops. I'm completely offsetting both of you.
I'll change them, guys. Don't worry.
But at the end of the day, you can only do so much within the system of consumerism that we have. Everything is wrapped in
Exactly.
plastic.
Yep.
Exactly.
It is about doing what you can with whatever systems are available. Like in my community in Billings, in Montana, like no recycling.
No.
Yeah, I'm Miles City. I'm
No,
sure.
God, no. Like, I
Yeah.
don't even know if we have a recycling center.
Oh, I remember.
Oh,
I was,
actually we do.
I
Oh, you
was
do?
at
Oh.
Logan's house, and I go, I have this can. Where's your recycling bin? He's like, we don't have one. There's no recycling bin. It's just trash.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yep. No, the only thing we recycle, at least in my house, is like cardboard boxes. That's it. So, and there's like a little drop-off place for those, but outside of that, not much else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're doing what you can, and at the end of
Yeah.
the day, for individual consumers, that's really all we can do.
For sure.
But yeah, in terms of my background on the environment, very deeply passionate growing up in Montana, big backpacker, big skier. really, really into the wilderness. I was like a Eagle Scout. I was like the whole
Ooh
shebang.
la la.
Yes. But I'm just devastated to see our state legislature in Montana incrementally deregulate our Montana Environmental Policy Act, such as mandated environmental reviews for new federal projects, for example, into like oil extraction. And that's sort of what I want to dedicate my career to, is being in the state legislature as a representative, hopefully. And also there's a significant amount of water pollution. But in terms of my existing experience, I'm a researcher on campus. My honors thesis is on roadside pollution, so like tire treads and road paint, and the
That's
impact of
good.
those plastics in those products on human health and ecological health.
Nice.
And then I've done various like nonprofit internships as well
Very
in
nice.
DC and on campus as well.
So we got a professional
Yeah,
basically
so-
here with us
I don't know
today.
about that.
The three of us combined.
Well, you definitely know a lot more than we do.
Yeah. So I guess, is there a question that you would really like to start off with, or we can kind of talk about sort of what the upcoming debate is more centered around? What are we thinking?
Really? What else?
I do need to pull up the exact question so Ted doesn't
Oh, we have a
blame
question.
me.
I didn't even know we had
We
one.
do. I have to
figured out.
add it to our flyers
Okay.
now.
Then yeah, why don't you kind of
Okay.
Yeah.
It is called, the question is, will Gen Z be better for the environment than past generations?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know Ted said that we're going to like pre-agree on topics before we actually go into the debate. So I'm interested to see if we go like a more philosophical direction,
Sure.
if we're going into like debating over what the current administration has done. Yeah, lots of interesting ways to go.
Yeah, I think like Gen Z is just generally like a lot more conscious about things, such as mental health, such as the environment. Woke, you might say.
Yes, woke is
So, so I think that's kind of leading our generation and probably future generations to be a lot more conscious about kind of the effects of what we're doing, the effects of what corporations are doing, et cetera.
Right.
And having a deep desire to try to curb that.
I also feel like there's been a lot of pressure put on Gen Z. I know growing up in school, they always told us, they're like, you are going to be the generation that fixes all of this. You have to do this. You have to do this. And I'm going to show you this terrible video about what we did to the environment, and now you have to fix it.
Yeah.
And I was like 7. And I was like, I guess I'll turn my lights off in my room. Like, I don't really know what to do. And so I feel like we've had this enormous pressure put on us, but without the tools and ways to fix it. So
At least
I don't know.
meaningfully,
yeah.
That's a great, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I don't mean to be like a pessimist here, but like I feel that unfortunately a lot of things that like make life easier also harm the environment.
Yeah,
of course.
And Gen Z younger people are very used to that kind of thing, and even though we are very aware of it, I feel like that's because we can't see it right in our face. We're like, oh, it's fine if I do it right now. Like, I feel like there's a collective idea of like, this isn't gonna super harm anything, but if
Exactly.
if every single person is doing that every single day, like,
Well, that
Obviously.
that's like very true on a political sense. Like people have a hard time signing on to things that they can't immediately see the effects of. So like people love tax cuts because they can immediately see that in their bank accounts. But like environmental policy, like okay, 40 years from now, like it'll be a couple degrees cooler. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah,
I
but then
guess.
you're screwing over like your grandkids.
Yeah, but people don't
and-
think like that.
Yeah, I know, but they should.
Well, sure.
Yeah, I think the big issue is that, like us in America, we don't feel the tactile effects of climate change the same way that people in sub-Saharan Africa, for example, feel it.
Yeah.
It's like tens of thousands more people per year dying because of heat stroke.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people also don't realize is the effects of the current administration on pollution rollbacks as well. There are also like over 100,000 preventable deaths in the United States every year because of pollution, specifically from coal plants, for example.
Yeah.
And the current administration, unfortunately, is loosening like MCLs or maximum contaminant loads for arsenic, a variety of other heavy metals that are highly caustic to human health. So
yeah.
That's like a cap and trade thing, isn't it?
yeah. There you go. There's a concept. Yeah.
And like just from the health aspect of it, there's so many, I feel like, you know, something like COVID, right? It was so in our face and like everyone was feeling it immediately. And so we treated it more seriously as this like, well, you know, we tried.
Most people.
But some people were feeling that a little bit more, right? And because they were like, oh, this is a public health crisis, like, right, blaring in our face. But, you know, I've definitely learned a whole bunch of how long some public health crises take to develop. And, like, you know, I mean, there was even, like, this interesting thing about, like 9/11, like the impacts of that with like lung cancer and the rates of like that.
Wow.
And you don't necessarily think 9/11 and go like, oh, the environment. Really, not to laugh. It's not funny. But
sorry, no, that made me laugh.
But when you actually look at how many people, you're like, this is an outbreak. Like this is a public health issue, but we don't look at those long-term things.
Well, and kind of like what Hunter's referring to, like it does seem like it's a very U.S.-centered problem that, going back to Gen Z, we're not really taking it seriously because, like, what is it? Is it the G5? They do like a yearly conference on the environment, I want to say, or like a summit or something. Yeah, like European countries, developed countries, like other than the U.S., are like constantly talking about this and making pledges of like, oh, we're going to reduce carbon emissions by 2029 to this amount, and like trying to do that and seemingly taking some kind of steps towards that. But
I think you're referring to COP, the Convention of Parties.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So
I mean, I feel like all of the politicians and people in America, well, other than our current administration, always pledge to do something about the environment. Yeah. They're always like, we're going to cut down on this, or we're going to do that. And then I never see it. I never see it happening.
And a lot of it is, like, in the way our government works, is lobbyists. Like, there's a lot more money in oil corporations than there is in, like, environmental protection corporations.
Well, I just feel like it's an empty promise to gain more voters. Yeah. And then people never, well, yes, but we're talking about the environment today. So let's refer back to the prompt. But no, I feel like it's just one of those things that people say to get support, and then no one ever follows through on it.
Yeah. Although I will say, like, there's this thing, I don't know, a few years ago, it's called the Green New Deal, that a lot of your more progressive Democrats were kind of advocating for. And, like, they were pushing it through legislation. It just didn't get passed. So, like, people can make promises and, like, do try to act on it. They just never get anything done because of the way our government's structured.
Well, that's also what I mean, too.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see the effects of it.
Sure, yeah. So I guess, like, kind of on, like, a political level, like, what kind of influence can we have? Obviously, Hunter, the sort of field you're going into, you'll have a bit more of an impact, but sort of us everydayers, so to speak, like, is there anything we can do?
Well, this might like be a little bit unrelated, but just going back to the overall like idea of Gen Z, like there's also a huge like the accessibility to the environment. You know, I feel like people who have your experience of like being in the environment and like skiing and like experiencing those things typically care more about it because they're in it. But I think that Gen Z is seeing a very like, you know, so, like national parks are not necessarily accessible to certain people, or they're just not promoted in certain like communities and like lifestyles and all that of like go out and get into the nature, you know. Like,
have you seen the TikToks of the national parks making thirst trap videos to get people there?
I have seen that. I have seen that. But
that's something new.
That's just my fear, because I feel like the best thing would be to like kind of show people like this is how like you love to take a hike actually. Like you love to be in the nature and all of this, so care about it and like work to protect it. I feel like the reason why people don't care is because people are finding joy in other things, and that's fine, but it, you know, when we care more about like technology and like the consumer of it all, like unfortunately people aren't going out and getting active.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Speaking to your point on environmental education, it's something that absolutely should be instilled in children from birth. We need more funds for field trips out into nature. We need to instill a value of it. There's a lot of documented mental health benefits to being in nature, for example. I have some personal experience with this. I wrote a grant with the Campus Sustainability Fund on campus to fund students to go to, you all have heard of Biosphere 2, probably?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. To get a tour of that. Because speaking to your earlier point, a lot of teachers just show these doomerism videos and, okay, that's our climate lesson for the day. What are we supposed to do with that? We're just we're gonna feel like we can't do anything and that we're completely powerless in it. But what I noticed after the students took the tour previously, they had a lot of anxiety about it. There's actually a documented mental health condition known as climate anxiety, interestingly. And afterward, they felt, I measured it about 32% better about the outlook on climate because of all the amazing research that's happening on campus. And I was able to connect a lot of them with opportunities to get involved with climate research at Biosphere 2. We have water chemistry research centers like the West Center as well, for example. And finding those pathways to get involved if you're really interested in it, that's really the key, especially for university students to sort of assuage that anxiety and turn that anxiety into action. That's what we have to instill in kids from a young age.
No, that's great. I definitely think that societal shift needs to happen, and we need to start them early.
Exactly.
I was gonna say start them young, but that didn't sound right.
No, I do, because we had there was this one speaker that we had he's a park ranger at, I believe, Sabino Canyon.
Nice.
Yes, and he was just talking about like, because he's worked there a long time, and he was like, the lack of young people is like crazy. Like, he's like, when I first started here, there was a whole bunch of like, it was a family thing, it was young people, college students, whatever, and now it's like almost entirely older people, or like, all of that. And so I think that it really is just the getting into it. And with any issue that we have, whenever we wrap it in just this negative, I think that it turns people very much away. But when we display it with like this positivity, like instead of doing like the doom and gloom, this is so bad, like that makes people a lot more, because people want to hide away and run away from whatever is scary to them. And so when we only present the scary part, it's like, I'm just going to ignore it. Like, I'm just going to like not think about it.
It's a great point. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to.
No, go ahead.
I mean, I think another important issue to bring up too is that like, I don't want to be this person, but sometimes like we just don't have time, because Logan and I, we love going on hikes and going to nature, but the only time that we were able to go see Saguaro National Park or Sabino Canyon was over spring break when my parents were here and could pay to get into these places. And we went to Mount Lemmon once when it was like really dead with classes. And so that's another thing. Like, I just feel like that I guess that goes off of the kind of accessibility thing. We don't really have time to go out to these places because it's not integrated within our education systems.
Well, and in terms of like workers, like you mentioned, the park ranger, like people just aren't doing that anymore. Like, a lot of it comes down to funding again. Like, if we just like paid these people more, it's the same thing why we struggle with like teacher shortages. Just pay them more, and more people will want to work for that.
Don't make people work so long too.
Yeah. Well, and wasn't I don't know what the administration is called, but like there was a forestry thing that just happened.
Yes.
Do you know a little bit about that? Like, I read
do.
a headline and I have no idea what it is.
Yeah. So essentially, Trump defunded part of the Forest Service. There's a significant amount of labs across the country that are run by the Forest Service, like scientific labs, and they do a lot of climate research in particular. I think the center of that is in Fort Collins, I think, Colorado. And as a result, a lot of them are going to be in danger of shutting down, but it is those labs that provide our foundational climate data. So the entire purpose of that, of course, is delegitimizing the climate movement as much as possible and making it seem like it's uninformed when, of course, the opposite is true. It's very well documented.
Yeah.
So
for sure. Well, and like kind of touching on that of like sort of solutions, like I hear all the time that like, oh, we can't invest in wind, we can't invest in solar because one, those use oil, that uses oil anyways, and two, it's not efficient. So I guess what is your kind of, do you have like any sort of technological background on how these different sources of energy work, and like, are they actually better?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of economic benefit once you do the front end investment into it. We'll start with that. So like clean energy jobs are already growing at 2 times faster rate than overall U.S. job growth. And actually solar and wind are now among the cheapest forms of new electricity in many regions. So yes, there is an upfront carbon footprint there, but it more than pays for itself with decades of operation. And of course, Trump seems to have some vendetta against wind for reasons that are beyond me.
The windmills are killing the birds.
Yep. Yeah. As if
Probably because it blows his wig off.
I forgot.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, were you going to say something?
Well, I was even just going to say, like, here I know that U of A specifically is huge in the, like, solar kind of push.
Yeah,
and
of
this,
course.
like,
Definitely.
this is so random, but they had, like, their race team or whatever, like, made the first, like, solar race car. Like, I don't know how long ago.
So
but,
cool. Yeah.
But, like that kind of stuff and this, because I think all the time, I'm like, Arizona has so much sun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
we could power everything really with how much sun there is. And it just doesn't, it makes sense that we would search for it elsewhere.
Yeah. I think I saw this, it was like a meme almost, where it's like, if we cover like X amount of land of the Sahara Desert where no one lives, like we could literally power the entire world.
Sorry, I thought an
Yes, I've seen
earthquake
that
was
too.
happening.
Yeah.
Well, so next question. This is a topic that I submitted as an idea for the debate. What's the deal with nuclear energy? It's like, it seems like kind of it's been sort of demonized universally, whether due to paranoia over meltdowns,
right?
Kind of your Chernobyl, and like everything that I've seen seems to say that like that's almost never ever going to happen again if we open up some kind of facility. So like, is that something that it's just a matter of public opinion that we need to sway over to start investing in that, or is there something else behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think it definitely is a public opinion thing. There's like a very widespread campaign in the fossil fuel industry to see 3 Mile Island was a domestic influence of a example of a meltdown. I think it was in Massachusetts, and they use that to really scare people. This is incredibly dangerous. It's gonna like kill communities where it happens, and it just comes down to effective management, and we more than have all of that like where it is. Like you have that developed. Look at France, over 70% of their energy is actually developed with nuclear energy. And in addition, there's actually multiple forms of nuclear energy. There's fission, which is uranium. It's like the standard nuclear energy. But there's also fusion, which is the process that takes place in the center of the sun. When 2 hydrogen atoms fuse into helium, and it releases a ton of energy. Yep. And we're actually seeing some really exciting gains there at Caltech. They recently had a big breakthrough where they generated more energy than they put in, which shows that we're getting more proficiency in the process of developing that. Once we get that changes everything. That permanently changes how we generate energy, and we'll have a permanent source of clean energy.
All of that just to heat water and spin turbines.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you think that the reason why this isn't so embraced, or the reason why this fear was instilled on people, was because of how much money there is in oil?
Yes, I would say so.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Same with any other form of substitute injury.
Absolutely.
Literally anything.
Yeah.
Well, and it's not even just the environment at this point. Like, I mean, just look at sort of foreign policy at the moment. Like, I think there was literally a promise that said, like, hey, oil companies are going to make a lot of money, and now all of a sudden we're at war with Iran. So it's more, it all just comes down to oil, it seems like.
It does.
No, my A-push teacher, she said, if you ever wonder why a war started, the answer is always oil.
It literally is. Like, look at the Israel-Gaza conflict. There's actually a massive offshore oil deposit off the coast of Gaza.
Of course.
Massively cited as an influence in the United States insertion into the war. So you're right. All ties back to oil. It's
All
it's
roads
terrible.
lead back to oil.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, backing up, we sort of addressed this earlier, almost sarcastically, but who has like the sort of greater responsibility in making sure that we are striving for a better environment? Is it the general public? Is it the government and political leaders? Is it corporations? Kind of all of the above equally, or what are we thinking?
I would say kind of all of the above equally. I mean, there is not a lot that citizens, like normal citizens, can do when their whole economy and lifestyle is affected by these horrible, like environmental, what's the word? negatives. I don't know, like
Externalities.
yeah, but like obviously you need a car to go to work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you need to work to live. And if we were what?
No, sorry. I'm just recalling our political philosophy.
Well, you need to work to live in this economy.
Yes.
And everything, all of these businesses are so far away from each other. America is so huge, and you need to have a car, and that car takes gas, and that gas, you have to drill oil and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
so there's not really much that we can do as people other than, turn your lights off and shower for 10 minutes and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But like,
Yeah. I think that it's very difficult to go against the big men at the top, really. But on like a more local scale, I think that this is where like city infrastructure and planning really obviously walkable cities. It would be
Yes.
great if everywhere was a walkable city.
Yeah.
Like, obviously coming from Boston, you don't need a car. Like you very much like can get where you need to go because we have 17,000 like little lines on the train. So it's like
Well, yeah, that's another thing. It doesn't even
Trains,
necessarily have to be
yes.
walkable. It's just like
Exactly, like having-
personal vehicle.
or having
Yeah.
Miss the
like
train in
like
Chicago.
having like public transportation, and like I know that obviously that still requires oil to some extent, but
Yeah.
that's
It's way more efficient.
Far more efficient.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like it's if we put a lot more into our public transportation, then that's something that cities can decide to do like on their own, and just kind of because it is going to be impossible to tell these billionaires like, hey, be nice to Mother Nature,
Yeah.
especially
Like,
if they're getting the billions of dollars from this.
so it's just, I think that if there are smaller things on like a local government level that can be done, I mean, it would be great
Yeah.
if the federal government like
Right. Yeah.
Did
I
something.
think my opinion is it's anyone but like the individual citizens. So
Yeah.
like I think the government has a responsibility to do everything you just said, but also like educate people. Sort of going back to the schooling thing of
Yeah.
like what is going on. But also corporations play a massive role. I mean, I
100%.
use the Sam Altman quote all the time. Like AI is going to destroy the environment, but at least we're going to make a lot of money along the way. Like that's a direct quote from the CEO of OpenAI. So I think just like we need a stronger EPA. We need stronger regulations and restrictions on, what these companies are doing. What are you looking at?
Well, I can't find how long we've been recording for.
2846.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it all comes down to the government and corporations, and those kind of work together.
It does, and the EPA is being weakened at
Yes.
the worst
Yes.
possible time. I don't know if you all
Yes.
saw fairly recently that Trump struck down the endangerment finding from the EPA, which essentially provided grounds for the EPA to regulate carbon emissions. He's just completely stripped it of much of its purpose, lengthening coal leases for like coal burning power plants, weakening the MCLs, the maximum contaminant loads of like heavy metals, essentially allowing them to pollute more. So with the rise of AI, to your point, the worst possible time for us to be weakening our environmental
100%, yeah.
infrastructure.
Not only that, but also like as part of the one big beautiful bill,
Yep.
there was a clause in there that it got taken out that said like states will not have the right to restrict AI for like 10 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
God, no,
Yeah.
let's not do that.
Absolutely.
It was taken out. But
Thank God.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
I guess
gosh.
kind of a question off of that, why is the environment, why has it become such a political issue? Like when I think
Oil.
I think, yeah.
Is that really
I think
it?
money,
Yes.
I think that the money that comes out of it, I think that like, I don't know. I just think that it's
Well, so then, okay, let me ask this. Why is it a political question in terms of like right left? Like, why is it fairly clear that your more progressive side is more environmental friendly versus your conservative side not being? Like, it would seem like oil money would be sort of universal in that sense, but
Actually, I think it is sort of universal. I think that Democrats who are environmentally progressive actually have substantial holdings.
Hot take.
Yeah. So it's only the the squad members, in
Sure.
Congress, like a single digit number of Congress people who actually are voting in the against the interests of oil companies. So
Fair enough.
I mean, I do just, even from my experience, like my town was very crunchy granola, if you will. Well, not necessarily. They were, they had money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were those families, everybody at my high school went skiing,
Yeah.
had their like houses, whatever.
Right.
And that comes into the accessibility. And it's almost like the accessibility to look like you care about the environment. Like they could run out and just get a Tesla. They were like, and now I'm better than you because I have this Tesla. And that's fine. But I do think that it's a lot easier to look as though you care about the environment when you have the means to care about it in certain ways,
You're speaking to a really important point. So when you everyone says shop local, don't buy from a supply chain in Southeast Asia. Think of all those emissions. No, buy local. It's not that simple.
No.
Farmers markets are markedly more expensive than your everyday supermarket, probably 2 times more expensive, to be honest. So there's a big environmental privilege if you're like, oh, I want to take control of my carbon footprint. Okay, well, to your point, you have to have the financial means to do so.
Yeah, it's even just with I know I was vegetarian for a little second there, for
Nice.
5 years. But I've always heard the thing that it's actually cheaper to be vegetarian.
Yeah.
It's super whatever. But there were at home, it was the same. It was cheaper, to be vegetarian, whatever, do my thing. Here though was a lot more expensive because there was only one store that had vegetarian things.
Yeah.
And it was twice the price of things that I would get at home. So just because and all that. And so there's just this, I do see a very big difference because at home, Boston is filled with
Yeah.
very eco-friendly, everything's eco-friendly, all of this stuff. And it's relatively the same price as other things. But here it's, it's almost impossible. Everyone goes to Costco and Sam's Club and all that, which isn't, and it makes sense for families that don't have the means to be spending $15 on 10 chicken nuggets.
Even speaking of the sort of Montana experience, even if you are doing locally, my family, we get all our beef from our neighbors.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's beef is that in itself is incredibly harmful to the environment. I'm pretty sure of all of the produce that you can possibly get, beef is the most environmentally damaging.
Yes, that's correct.
So-
Yeah.
Well,
Go
But
ahead.
I love it.
I was just saying, before Logan came here, and you would always get the same thing, steak, rice bowl. And
Yep.
then I was like, why don't you try chicken one day? And you had it, and you actually really liked it. And now
Wow.
you get chicken
Yes.
from now on. But yeah.
I think you're speaking to a good point. A lot of environmental progressives are not expecting everyone to go vegetarian or vegan overnight. It's this concept, I don't know, have you heard of flexitarianism? Yeah. So it's about
Maybe.
reducing your intake, instead of
Yeah.
having beef, 7 days a week.
Now I'm a flexitarian.
There you go. That's great. No, that's awesome. You're doing what you can, and I know you had the intention of being vegetarian, but the point is that you're doing what you can within the economy that we're in. I mean, I know exactly which store are you thinking of, by the way? The
Co-op?
Yeah, so expensive,
So
insane. But yeah, it's about maybe a beef 3 times a week instead.
Sure.
Because beef per pound, I think, is it takes hundreds of gallons of water. It's an insane amount of resources. So even cutting back a little bit has a humongous impact. So that's really that's how you can focus on your individual self.
I only have beef once a month.
Look at this star right here. It's
That
environmental.
That can't be true.
Yeah, and then even to just tie
a week and a month.
the health aspect. I think that a common thing with the vegetarian or whatever, if you're trying to lower, a lot of people aren't educated on their health in a lot of ways, and so they try to be this environmentally friendly, and then they're like, oh, you have no iron in your blood. There's something seriously wrong. So it's just kind of improving education overall in how to be healthy to your environment, but also healthy to yourself, and finding the balance between that.
Yeah, I fear I do have to take iron pills now.
Do we think I don't know what the correct term for it is, alternative beef? What's do we think that'll ever
Impossible
become
beef?
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
lab grown, yeah.
Okay.
Do we think that'll ever become mainstream?
Yeah.
They
It
did.
has.
Yeah, they
kind
did.
of.
I think recently they just had some kind of breakthrough with it was like borderline 3D printer beef, but like,
Yes.
but it wasn't. It's all made from like genetic material of actual beef. Like,
Yes.
So it's
I think if lab grown diamonds can become mainstream versus mine diamonds, and I think lab grown beef can become mainstream too.
Maybe.
I think people need to stop lying and saying that they can taste the difference, because I have had multiple people who are like, no, I never want that. I can taste the difference, and then I go and serve them a meal. They never notice. They never notice.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's funny.
And then it's after you tell them, they're like, oh yeah, like I knew something was off. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Well, and like even if there is a difference, as long as it tastes good, like I don't care.
Yeah.
My favorite chicken
Yeah.
nuggets are the fake ones. My favorite chicken nuggets.
Those are
the-
so good. Which ones are you talking about?
I like the Morningstar ones.
Ooh, yes.
Obviously, Morningstar is like
That's a good
classic,
one.
and the sausages. Oh my god, the breakfast sausages better than
Delish.
any actual meat.
Yes.
Truly, like, but yeah, I think it will definitely become mainstream. I think like I want it to become a little trend.
Yeah.
They will. We can make everything else a
Yeah.
trend.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that kind of goes back to the political question of like, it seems like kind of the war of the environment, or I guess Hunter, like kind of your perspective, there wasn't even really a back and forth in the first place, but like it seems like we kind of dropped that issue altogether as a government. Like not even as a result of the current administration, it just feels like even like the last couple years of Biden, like we didn't really talk about it as much. So like how do we get to like a resurgence of like a more of a social awareness of that, despite we agreeing Gen Z is more conscious about it already.
It's kind of interesting because I feel like during COVID, like we could
That's
all
what I was gonna
agree
say.
that like nature was the vibe. Like
Yeah.
we were outside. Like they
Yes.
were like, you can't go anywhere, but we were like family walk at 5. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna be awesome. And like people
Bike ride to the park.
were really like getting into it. So I kind of would have expected to see like this resurgence of caring about it, but because I just feel like everyone was outside.
I think I know.
So-
I have some reasons why. So,
Yeah.
are y'all familiar with like the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022?
Yep.
Yeah, that was by far like hundreds of billions of dollars invested in climate-related infrastructure. That was like the biggest like investment in climate. But once 2022 midterms hit, Democrats lost control of the Senate, and then from there it's just like, what can you do? And then once it falls out of the scene, then it feels like, oh, like why aren't we talking about it in politics? Because there's almost no points,
Yeah.
They're so gridlocked into their oil interests.
So let's be hypothetical here. 2026 rolls around. Well, November rolls around.
Yes.
We are already in 2026, and like let's say this will never happen, but say there's a veto-proof House majority of Democrats. Do you think they'll put any focus onto environmental issues, or do you think it'll kind of remain like a sort of tabled issue?
It's a really interesting question. It's hard to say because Trump is essentially like legislating himself with executive orders. So I don't know if Democrats are planning for that because they may fear might get overruled by like an overpowered executive who decided he wants to overrule Congress, which he's done countless times, more than any other president. So I don't know. It's a great question. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think Democrats will fare very well in 2026.
Yeah.
I work on several congressional campaigns right now, including Mendoza for Congress.
Oh, okay. House, right?
Yeah, she's House. She's running against Siskamani, and it's actually the most competitive district in the entire country, which is insane to say, but it's really close. So, but if you get those few seats, it's the majority, of course, still serves a great purpose. They passed the budget to fill out the president's agenda. So there are things we can do to restrict action and maybe get some like more momentum back in the climate movement.
Yeah, I do. I hope people can get down with it, because there was really an era there where everyone was
Yeah.
like,
There was.
save the turtles.
Yes.
Yes,
And we clowned
I
on
bought
them.
a metal straw.
We clowned on them.
Yeah.
We did.
The Visco girls, bring it back.
I said, you know what? They are saving the turtles.
You know what? I think there will be later generations that are like, let's be 2020 Visco Core, or not 2020. It was like 2018.
Sure,
Yeah.
whatever it
Visco
was.
Core, and we're gonna start to see like our future children wearing the puka shell necklaces
I don't know if that's gonna be allowed.
in the hydro flasks.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, but it was kind of
It was an
It was
era.
a
Then,
vibe.
I mean, even with water bottles, like, look, we got everybody on the wave of like having your own personal water bottle.
This is
did.
true.
And then they were like, I'm going to buy a new Stanley every weekend. I was
I
like,
know.
okay, so
Defeats the purpose.
The whole
Yes.
point
Feeding
of the water
into
bottle.
consumerism.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's just, come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't had my caffeine today, so sorry guys, I'm
But-
not as present.
Any other topics, Hunter, that you would like to discuss that we maybe haven't addressed yet?
Yeah, I don't know if you all have thought of like the international sphere as much. Like, do you all have any opinions on the success of international movements, or how familiar are you with them?
I mean,
I know
not very
nothing.
familiar. All I know is like kind of we touched on this earlier. They're doing a lot more than the U.S. is. So
Yes, 100%.
Props to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the EU has had double-digit drops in emissions because of their commitment to the Paris Climate Accords.
Yes. We
which-
pulled out of that, didn't we?
We did.
Yep.
Trump did for the second time. He took us out in in his first administration. Biden got us back on, then he took us out again. So isn't that just lovely? But
Pendulum.
all that to say that there is absolutely hope. We're seeing amazing progress in the EU. So and we do have success in environmental law around the world. With like the Montreal Protocol, for example, we effectively banned this chemical called CFCs
Yes.
that eats away the
that
ozone
was,
layer.
Yes, I remember that. That was like in the 90s, wasn't
Correct.
it? Yep.
That was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And we completely eliminated it, and the ozone hole is repairing itself. And in the next few decades, we'll be chilling, and the sun isn't going to like destroy all life on Earth, you know? So,
Excellent.
yeah, so there's hope. There's like, we can come together. This is a much bigger problem because it's so structural, and fossil fuels are in everything that we have around us, the shirts that we wear, the phones that we have. So it is a much bigger challenge, but we have the infrastructure to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well-
what you're saying is we should all just be naked because fossil fuels.
Go back to our roots. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
a completely different movement. My take on kind of international, like everything you're saying about the EU is great.
Sure.
But like I view sort of the culprit country, so to speak, and like the countries producing the most emissions as the US, as your China, your India, like those very industrial and very dense populated areas. Like, how is there a world where, and this would be the EU doing it, because obviously the US isn't going to do it, but like they bring those other countries to the table and say like, hey, you know, we recognize you're a very industrial area, but like this is kind of an issue for everyone. Like
I think
we
they've
need to-
tried
Yeah.
several times.
They have tried. There's been so the Paris Agreement, for like clarification, it's non-binding, so it's not like mandatory. It's sort of like we aspire to be this, but there was a binding protocol called the Kyoto Protocol in the
Oh, yeah.
in the 90s that failed because it was binding and we couldn't get there. But there is hope in some of the countries you mentioned. China, they're having a humongous push to solar energy. Actually, they're rapid change of their infrastructure, and they're finding all of the economic benefits I mentioned earlier. There's like 2x plus economic output for what you put in. Like you make a lot more money for the economy, like long term, and of course
Yeah.
it reduces emissions. So
Great.
Yeah. Well, again, it goes back to the kind of the core theme is oil. Like
All
it's
roads
not even
lead to
about
oil.
growing the economy. It's about growing the economy for the right sector.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
it's very true.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We just switched over because I just feel like if we can get this is more than environment, but just getting everybody out of that whole like the short term like
Right.
what's gonna pick yourself up by the bootstraps. I'm like, well, if we didn't do that, guys, we actually would be better off. Like really, in like thinking about the long term, like there's so many levels to everything that
Yeah.
it's all very intersectional.
It is. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just getting everything. Like you said, like if people didn't have to work all the time, then they could appreciate nature a little bit more.
That's what I'm saying. I'd love to just go out and sit in the grass.
It's
Like,
the
I don't-
economy, stupid.
There's no grass in my backyard. It's all dirt
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we are in Arizona. But
And when Sam Altman says it's going to make us a lot of money, he's not talking about us.
No.
He's
No.
Absolutely
not
not.
talking about us.
Talking about
So-
Nvidia. He's talking about Microsoft. He's talking about
I mean,
Maybe
anytime these guys talk about like, oh, it's gonna make so much money, I'm like, that's not going to like.
maybe all roads
Yo.
lead back to rich versus poor.
yep.
Oh, well,
Class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the core of it all.
Obvi, but yeah,
Just saying.
both of my grandparents are park rangers.
That's
Really?
awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
every 6
Aw.
months they do 6 months in a different national park.
Wow,
I
that's
love
cool.
that.
How many have they been to?
So many. Oh my God. They like Yellowstone, Acadia.
Yes.
What's the other?
Yosemite?
Glacier?
Yosemite.
Oh.
Yes.
Glacier.
I love Glacier.
Yes.
Logan
Yes.
has not been to Glacier. He lives in Montana.
Logan.
Other side of the state.
How dare you? That's
Make
the
the
best national
drive.
park in the country.
No, yeah.
I would agree.
They just.
That's what I'm saying.
It's kind of beautiful.
Let's go, Abby.
How many parks are in the States?
I gave my brother a water bottle because he loves visiting national parks, and it's like the sticker water bottle
Yeah,
where
I've
you
seen
put
that
the
one.
sticker on it
Yeah.
when you visit the national park. And that thing is covered. It's like bigger than this, and it's completely
That's
covered
sick.
in little circles.
There's also the thing, like, because there's some like historical sites that are labeled as like national parks. am I
Yeah.
correct? That are like they're owned by the national parks, but they're more so like okay.
National monuments, you mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Mhm.
Oh,
Because right down
what's the one in Wyoming?
literally 4
Oh,
minutes.
Devil's Tower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally like 4 minutes from my house is Frederick Law Olmsted's house, and this is you guys familiar?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I
sorry.
don't know. He made Central Park.
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
Way out of
Okay.
Central Park, and like really all of like the Northeast,
Chill.
like
So cool.
like thing.
Yeah.
But like that's technically I guess not, but whatever. But that was cool. We went there a lot as kids,
Yeah.
and I like the nature. So
Yeah.
I like nature too. I just wish I had time to go and hike and explore, and it'd probably be a lot healthier if I could have all that time to go and hike. But
So it seems like all of our problems can be pointed back to number one, Reagan, and number two,
Yes.
industrialization.
yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Well, also, industrialization did give women chances to work, though.
Wow, sure.
So like, I don't really want to say eliminate industrialization back
Well,
then. But if we could go
I'm
back,
not saying eliminate. It's just like, okay, that's where we kind of started down this
Yeah.
path of like,
But if we
wow,
could
we
go
have got
back
50
and give-
factories producing smog.
No, I
Yeah.
agree. I mean, industrialization is terrible, but there were also there were some benefits.
Well, yeah.
It's just
From a
the
human
Yeah.
perspective.
That was complicated
Yeah.
for sure.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I
the
mean,
same
there's
is, the same is
everything
true.
has negatives.
Yeah, the
and
same is true as
positives.
fossil fuels. Like, it's
Yeah.
great for the economy. It just sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
no,
Yeah.
it's definitely.
I do know more history than I know about the environment. So there's that.
Shout out Michelle Obama because she had
For real.
that whole movement of getting the kids fit and active.
Yes.
Get outside. I don't know if you guys remember the Nickelodeon.
I do.
Yep, there we go.
That's where it's at.
There would be no Nickelodeon for the day. There we go outside. Be like, okay, Michelle.
I
But-
spent so much time outside as a kid.
Me too.
And I feel like kids now
Yeah.
are always just iPads and stuff.
No, that's not it.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know what they're
I don't
missing
know.
out on.
I had the Razor scooter with the sparks, which probably did bad for the environment too. But
Come on now. No, we actually at my school you'd get in trouble if you didn't recycle properly and throw all your
Wow.
trash. I'm
Good.
not even kidding. We had somebody stand at the trash,
Oh, dang.
and they go,
That's
"That goes in there. That goes in
the
there."
recycling police.
And we had to know what thing was what
Okay.
type of plastic.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
they go,
great.
"Oh, plastic type 6 and 5 go in here and 4." I was like,
And styrofoam.
"This is a
Oh,
lot
Lord.
for me.
Styrofoam. Don't get you started.
This is a lot for me."
Hacking peanuts.
Ugh. That's not
It
it.
was we composted with the most of them. I think it was my 7th grade year that the middle schools pushed. They got the town to do town-wide composting,
I love it.
and they provided everybody
That's so
with their little bins. And
I had my
everything.
compost ball.
Yeah, because half of all food is wasted in this country, from when it's produced.
Yeah.
So compost is huge. That's such
Yeah.
a great way we can reclaim.
Or I know that Boston has a thing where I believe I don't know if hotels are included. I think it's certain restaurants or whatever aren't allowed to just throw out perfectly good food.
Yeah,
They can't just dump
yeah.
it.
I've heard of that.
So they have to they have to donate.
That would be a
somewhere.
great idea if we had compost bins in restaurants.
Yeah, or it's not even combo.
Or,
They straight
not
up if
in.
they have if they have something that's packaged and they're oh, we're just gonna toss this for whatever reason, they're required to
Yeah.
not throw it out.
That's crazy.
And there's
Wow.
some apps
That's good, though.
we can sign on to where near closing hours of restaurants.
Too good to go.
Yeah, that one, yeah. And you roll up near
love
closing,
Too
and
Good
then
to
you
Go.
pick up foods that they were about to throw out for a
Yeah.
vastly reduced price.
And it's
Awesome.
literally it's
Yeah.
$3 for
Yeah.
a bag of mystery pastries.
And it's like great
so
stuff.
good.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
awesome.
cool.
And
Yeah.
you can do it at Whole Foods too.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
would love that.
Yeah.
No, it's so good.
Plug
It's
for
so
Too Good to Go,
Yeah,
like-
it's Too Good to Go. I love Too Good to
Yes.
Not sponsored, but
But
maybe
we
we
would
should
be.
be.
Mm-hmm.
Go. But yeah, like things like that. They're simple little small things, but
Yeah.
For sure.
They
They
add
make
up.
a difference. Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
We just need more small things.
You do. It's about doing
And
what
big
you.
things like.
Big, yeah.
Well, yes, but from what we can do.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah.
But
It all
yeah.
adds up.
I mean, it's kind of like the grass thing. Like, what's the deal with the grass in Arizona? They just like ban like houses built after a certain year can't have real grass
Yeah.
in
And
their
then there's
lawns
campus.
because it
Oh
takes
my lord. Yeah.
it takes too much water.
I have to go out there with my weed killer like all the damn time.
Yeah. If we want to talk about grass, like our university, oh my god.
If we want to talk about grass,
the mall,
Let's
the,
talk
the
about grass.
stadium,
Well, grass
the
is an
baseball
invasive
field.
It's an invasive plant.
Yeah, but it takes so much water to maintain here in Arizona.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
Like
What if we bring back clover?
those
I've heard about that.
facts.
those sprinklers on the mall run every night, like I think
yeah.
regardless of how cold
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's why our campus is so lush and beautiful. But
Yeah.
Egregious amounts of water.
And those palm trees.
Oh,
are
man.
not supposed to be here. When
Nope.
I learned that
None of
palm
those
trees
trees
were
are.
not.
no.
No.
Anyway,
Anyways, moral of the story: do what you can,
Yes.
but also like scream at your senator and tell them to restore the EPA and stuff like that.
Direct
Yes.
all of your anger towards the higher ups.
The government.
Yes.
and get
Oligarchy.
active.
Oligarchy. Sorry.
Yes.
Oligarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was a great episode. Thanks, Hunter, for your
Yes, thank
expertise.
you.
Certainly more than us.
Yeah,
and your
thanks. I
opinions on the
knew
matter.
nothing, and now I know a little bit more.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you all for inviting me.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So we will have that event the 22nd
On Earth Day.
on Earth Day.
Be there,
It
be square.
Will be live streamed. I that's probably me that'll do that. And yeah, we hope to see you there. But other than that, we'll be back here next week. I believe Ted will be with us, and he's going to surprise us with a topic.
A little scared.
So excited for that.
Go
I'm a
easy on
lord.
us, Ted.
And yeah, so we'll see you guys next week. But I've been Logan,
I've been Maggie.
I've been Abby.
I've been Hunter.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.